Elizabeth, Clinical Psychology Registrar from Prosper Health Collective. Today, what I want to be talking about is how to build motivation and stay motivated. If you are like me, you probably would have some New Year resolution in 2024 and might have started off good, but as the month progresses, you might find maybe struggling a little bit. If that's you, maybe this vlog will be for you. So some tips here. First tip here is to actually identify what it is that you are trying to achieve and why. So this is what I call purpose, right? So if your big picture goal is fitness, you want to be fit, and you need to start identifying why is fitness important for you. Is it because there is an element of health? Is it because you are trying to build your body up so that you can do something else? This is an important question because we will not be naturally inclined to engage in activities that is not of value to us. So once you've identified your purpose, the second tip here is to plan your roadmap. Now, the momentum of motivation requires more than just your desire for change. You need to be active and position yourself in the best possible place for success. So to do that, you need a roadmap to success. The roadmap will look like looking at a big picture goal. And for you to get there, start by breaking down this big picture vision or goal into mini achievable goals to continue that momentum process. This will also help you to reduce overall sense of being overwhelmed by this big picture goal. Your mini goal should be achievable in the short term. You can look at it in terms of a weekly goal, or if possible, look at it even daily. And the third tip here, after you've considered your roadmap, is let's look at some barriers to change. Change itself takes time, and to sustain it requires energy. If you have not already made the changes, anticipate that it could mean that there are some barriers you need to work through, some obstacles you need to jump over, right? So sometimes as we progress through the year, we might find that, I'm just not motivated anyway because life gets in the way. So what we want to do here with this tip is you want to look at how does life get in the way. It is not easy to make changes, but it is completely viable if you could first identify ahead of time what are some of these barriers that may get in the way between where you want to go and where you are today. Then we make the plans to change it and to overcome it. So some of this barrier that you might want to look out for could be external. So that could be the environment, that could be the amount of resources that you have available to you. If you want to go to the gym 3 times a week, for example, you might want to consider that, hey, maybe going at 12 midnight is not going to be viable if the gym is already shut. So maybe some barriers like that, you might want to anticipate and work through it. Other barriers that you can consider will be internal. So for example, some of your thought process. I'm just so tired. I'm failing in this again. I can't do this. This is all too hard. Some of the internal thought process or big feelings that might come up. This might be some that you require some strategies in order to make headways into sustaining lasting changes. The fourth tip I have here is actually to advocate success for yourself. As you journey through this process of making changes, have a think about what does success look like? What are some of the little wins or the big wins? How do they look like to you? For example, if you feel sluggish but you still wake up and tick the box of what you need to do, pick up the books for 2 minutes if you're trying to cultivate new reading habits, even though you would just really you have such a bad day, you just want to be on Netflix. To me, that's little wins, right? Celebrate that. Celebrate your win, because as you celebrate your win, you see your achievement, you see outcome, you see progress, and that alone can help you sustain and motivate changes. It builds that momentum. And it also increases dopamine in your brain as you reward yourself for it. You can also consider use of an accountability partner to keep you on track and reflect on some of the wins together. So together you can see progress and outcome, and you are more likely to stay motivated. Last tip here is if things did not go as planned, or if you find that you have fallen off the motivation bandwagon, how might you respond to that? Now, the temptation for many of my clients is that they might find themselves overly punitive or critical to themselves. And while that temptation is really good, like really great, really great temptation there, notice that is it really that useful or effective towards you achieving that bigger end goal? Instead of being critical to yourself, I would strongly encourage that maybe start noticing that this is just a slight bump in a journey. Consider this as a bump rather than a failure. And notice your narrative you may start using on yourself, especially if they're very abrasive and very mean in nature. Consider, is this the same way you would talk to a close friend? Then consider whether you could regard this as an opportunity to reassess your roadmap. Perhaps the barriers that you're anticipating, you might not have anticipated a certain barrier. Let's reassess this roadmap instead of consider this as like a big failure, right? So if you would like a conversation further to improve your mental health and just to have a chat more about how to stay motivated, you're more than welcome to engage with one of our clinicians at Prosper Health Collective. That's all from me today. Thank you.